Namaste and welcome to Moon Himalaya Adventure. In this journey of Lobuche climbing with Everest Base Camp Trek. Day 1 started with a flight to Lukla. This airport is famous for its thrilling short and upbeat runway. Though the runway is short, it carries our biggest grip. After landing at the airport, we officially started our trek. Leaving Lukla, our necessary permits were verified at the checkpoint. Just an hour into the walk, we reached Chuplung village, the first village on the trek. At the end of Chuplung village, we saw beautifully inscribed money walls, and the view was so pleasant to the eyes. Another 2 hours of walk from Lukla, we reached Thardokosi River, where we catch our breathtaking first glimpse of Kusum Kangaroo. Finally, we reached Falting village. After crossing the famous Falting suspension bridge over the powerful Nuptse river, we checked into our hotel. We are so thankful for the warm hospitality provided by the hotel Sherpa. Day 2. After a breakfast in Falting, we started our journey to Nuptse. Within the first hour, we reached the beautiful cocktail waterfall, a perfect photo break. We took some great photos and continued walking. On the way, we had our first encounter with the males. We let them go first because they ruled this trail. We saw another beautiful Benka waterfall. Crossing Benka waterfall, we climbed the uphill and stopped for a while to rest before continuing our trek. We saw beautiful money walls and curtains which truly immersed us in the Himalayan Buddhist spirit. Locals believe these sacred money walls offer protection throughout our journey. We crossed another suspension bridge and reached Monjo village. On the trail, we met many mules and jockeys. They are used for carrying the loads from one place to another. Crossing Monju suspension bridge, we reached Jorsale. Finally, we crossed the Hilary Bridge, our final suspension bridge over the powerful Thardokosi River. After crossing the most famous and most thrilling Tenzing Hilary Bridge, we started climbing steep uphill forested hillside. Just after Monjo, we reached the official entrance gate to the Sagarmatha National Park. After verifying our necessary permits, we continued our trek. We passed through last village, Mislung village, before finally reaching to Nuptse. We wrapped our day 2 in Nuptse, staying in a comfortable lodge. Day 3. The most needed acclimatization day in Nuptse, even if you feel healthy and fit. We hiked up to Everest Point and returned to Nuptse, following the golden rule of climb high and sleep low. Day 4. Trek from Nuptse to Tengboche. After acclimatizing ourselves at Nuptse, we started with a smooth, easy trail out of Nuptse. After an hour of walk, we reached Jordan, where we saw mighty Everest, Lhotse, and Amaravlong. We rested for a while and continued our trek. We stopped for a tree break at Kanjuma. We enjoyed our day, seeing Himalayan peak right in front of us. Crossing Tangzuma, we reached Fungitenga. It sits right by the Thardokosi River. We had our traditional Nepalese meal before the significant climb. The trail from Fungitinga is indeed a steady, long uphill climb through the rhododendron and pine forest. It is often tough but worth it for the destination.
अब चाहिँ तेङबुजी
We
पुग्यो
finally reached Tengbuche Gate,
खाङ्टेका
entrance to
थम्सेरको
another beautiful place.
अब चाहिँ तेङबुजीको
Tengbuche
गेटमा यो
itself is
हेर्नुहोस् है
famous for
हजुर
its magnificent and ancient monastery. Tengbuche offers 360-degree view of the surrounding Himalayan
Well done,
giants.
guys. Wow, chief friends. This is Tengbuche. Tengbuche. Oh la la, Amadablang. Amadablang. Monasteryको गेट
We ended our day staying in a comfortable lodge in Tengbuche. A 5 trek from Tengbuche to Tengbuche, we started our trek crossing the Tengbuche suspension bridge. Just 20 minutes walk from the bridge, we saw a magnificent sight of powerful waterfall, which had its origin directly from the melting glacier ice of the Mount Khumbu. Continuing our ascent, and just before reaching Pangbuche, we reached one of the oldest churches. This spot provides a truly unparalleled vantage point for viewing the iconic pyramid-shaped Amadablam. We soon reached Pangbuche and had a short tea break. Our midday stop was at the small traditional settlement of Somare village for lunch. Energized after the meal, we resumed our steady climb and finally arrived at the stunning high-altitude village of Tengbuche. Day 6. This day is very crucial to acclimatize at higher altitude. Early morning, we hiked up and gained an altitude of 300 meters. Then returned back to Lhotse. We had our lunch and half day was free to stroll around, enjoy coffee, or just to relax comfortably. Day 7. The journey to Lobuche unfolded beautifully. Within minutes of starting the trek, we reached this beautiful place where we saw a panoramic view of nearby mountains. Then, the trail led into a flat glacier valley that felt like heart of the Himalaya. We had our lunch at Tuklati House and continued our walk. The trail from the Tuklati House to Tukla Pass is steep and challenging. It took us 1.5 hours from Tuklati House to reach Tukla Pass. It is a memorial place in the memory of Turkish climbers who lost their lives during mountain expedition. Our final hour of steady trekking through the rocky terrain brought us to our home for a night, Lobuche. Day 8. Trek from Lobuche to Gorakse to Everest base camp and back to Gorakse. After a steady climb, we stopped here to rest and enjoy the amazing beauty of Himalayan mountain. After crossing Khumbu Glacier and walking through the corridor of Khumbu Glacier, we reached Gorakse. We enjoyed our lunch at Gorakse. Then, finalizing our rooms and keeping our backpacks, we continued our trek to Everest Base Camp. Finally reached Everest Base Camp. There was a crowd to take pictures in front of this iconic Everest Base Camp rock. We were so amazed by the beauty at the base camp. We took pictures and videos, then returned back to Gorakse. We stayed in a Gorakse for a night. Day 9. In the early morning, we hiked up to Kalapathar to see the beautiful sunrise view. We were amazed seeing the rays of sun touching the peaks of Himalayas. We saw the best panoramic view of the Himalaya from this viewpoint. After filling our eyes, mind, and heart with the splendid scenic view of Himalaya, we descended back to Gorakse.
Lhotse. Wow, Lhotse. 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 Wow, Lobuche Peak. Lobuche Peak.
We had our breakfast at Gorakhse and started our trek to Lobuche High Camp. As there were no
Summit
tea
बाट
houses available in
फर्किँदाखेरि
Lobuche High Camp, we stayed in tent.
Lobuche High.
Day 10. Today we reached the top of Lobuche East Peak. We started the ascent
Made to
early in
Moon
the morning.
Himalaya
Following icy
Adventure.
paths, we made our way to the southern ridge. We
Lobuche Peak
used ropes,
Summit.
crampons, and ice axe. We were
On
mesmerized by the
time
panoramic views of
is
Mount
8
Everest,
o'clock,
Nuptse,
1
Lhotse,
minute.
Amadablam, Pumori, Lhotse, and other
Himalaya
mountains from the summit.
Adventure.
After spending some time at summit, we returned back to Lobuche. Day
Yeah.
11. Trek from Lobuche to Tengbuche. Day 12. Trek from Tengbuche to Nuptse. 13. Trek from Nuptse to Lhotse. And day 14. Finally fled back to Kathmandu. Thank you for watching and contact us to have your best Himalayan experience in Nepal.